Guys, we have a huge problem in the sport, and it's weight cutting. A UFC fighter by the name of Cameron Smotherman collapses at UFC 324 weigh-ins. And I'm not gonna lie to you, it's looking bad and this is getting dangerous. Let's talk about it.
Shut your lips, it's time for a brand new episode of What? We talking jit, say what? We talking jit, say what? We talking jit, say what? We talking jit, said it's time for a brand new episode of Talking Jit.
Alright, so I got the video pulled up. We'll start from the beginning. So Cameron Smotherman comes in, normal weigh-in ceremony. As you can see, he's obviously frail. We've seen this 100 times. But the problem is with these weight cuts is you're depleting your body of water. Your blood is mostly water. You're messing with your blood pressure. You're messing with your electrolytes. You can have all sorts of things. And if you look in this man's eyes, he's not there. He's got that zombie look. I think everything apart of him right now is just trying to stay on that scale. And he loses his balance just by stepping off and bam. Let's look how bad that is. To me, this is dangerous. He hits his head on the floor. It looked like he went unconscious to me. I've got the whole video pulled up right here. Shout out to MMA Junkie. Boom. When I saw this is the first initial video. I thought he was passed out. I thought he knocked himself out. He doesn't, but you can see there's nothing in his eyes. This is dangerous. When you're depleting your body of that much water, and your blood is made up of mostly water, your body is working incredibly hard to regulate. Your heart, cardiovascular system, it can go into an overdrive. And I'm not a doctor, but I'm an ex-fighter. I've been through weight cuts. I know how shitty it feels, and I would never want to do this. I stopped. When I went to jiu-jitsu, I'm like, I am not cutting weight anymore. And because I listen to my body, I would rather fight a little bit higher weight than do this. And I don't understand it. Someone out there, maybe more experienced than me, tell me why there's such a big precedence to cut so much weight. The other thing is the UFC does not have a hydration clause. I'm 99% positive. We can look that up, but they don't allow IVs, and I know that for a fact. They do not allow IVs to rehydrate. And I don't know if that's supposed to deter you from rehydrating, but it's almost scary. And as you see, they roll this guy over and they don't even hold his head up, so his neck's just dangling, having a hard time. I can only imagine how this dude feels right now. He goes to sit up on his own, and at first, like I said, this looks great. Oh, he's getting up. But as we'll see here soon, it doesn't last long. He got to the point to where his brain is telling his body to shut down. It's too much. We're overloading the system and we have to shut down. Now, I'm not talking about this like it's the only occurrence, because you will see in this video, it is not the only time this has happened. It's happened several times. But this is a big time, and I think this is going to catch enough eyes to hopefully make some sort of difference. We have industries like One Championship that slows down water cutting or hydration cutting because they do hydration tests, and because whatchamacallit, you can't get below certain levels like you would here. And he collapses again, just in case I was distracting you. It looked like he's all good, but he gives out and goes back out. So even sitting up is taking a toll on this man's body. This is 24 hours before he is supposed to go out there and fight. And anyone who follows me or anyone who's watching this video who is an ex-fighter knows how much more stress that is on your body in this condition. Your eye picture is like your brain bouncing around inside your head. You know, your brain has a lot of water in it. If you're depleting your electrolytes, man, I just feel like you're just giving your brain like micro concussions. I'm not a doctor. Tell me if I'm wrong or right on this stuff, but I think it's absolutely crazy. One thing is for sure, this is not healthy. That is not a healthy person right here. Professional athlete going out to perform, and that is what they are 24 hours before. This reminds me of when Hamzat was trying to cut, and they actually cut the weight cut off on him. They wouldn't let him cut anymore And that man's such a psycho. He said, just let him die. But that was a good sign. Now the question is this UFC's fault? Is this his training camp's fault? Is this his team's fault? Is it his own fault? Um, he does have a video from the next day, I believe, of him, and he looked pretty good. He was talking in the video. He said he's normal, he feels great, he's fine. He claims it wasn't a huge weight cut, and he doesn't know what happened to him, but he is getting the testing done, and he is going to take his time to figure out what happened. But it still doesn't change the fact that he got to this point for a fight. You know, I don't know exactly what I would propose. In my head, if there is some way to hydration test, you know, I think it's on you to hydrate. I don't know if it's completely on the UFC to tell you where to cut your body off or not, but I do think that they can make differences. And not to keep glazing one championship, but it's one of the only people I saw in my, or one of the only organizations I saw in my research that does such testing to deter, over dehydrating your body. But I don't think UFC does any sort of hydration test afterwards. And if they do, I don't think they do it to everybody. Um, Spoiler alert, this man does not get back up. Weigh-ins are typically like first thing in the morning, and then they go out and they do a weigh-in ceremony where it's like a fake phony scale and they just do it all over again. But still, I've seen people at the weigh-in ceremonies that still look sickly. I don't think it's enough time to bounce back. I don't know why you would push that hard to get there. I mean, we have fighters like Frankie Edgar, who didn't cut much weight, was always a tiny guy, and look how successful his career was. Now, is he a freak of nature? Most likely, but I'll tell you from my perspective. I used to fight 135s. Those last 4 pounds were always a pain in the ass to get off. I could not get them off of me unless I starved myself and dehydrated myself. The day I would weigh in, I could barely make it to the scale. I felt dizzy. The night of the fight, I felt like I was in a dream. Like one of those dreams where you're punching and it just, there's no strength or nothing. I felt weak as hell. I took my last fight at 145. I felt great going in there. I felt strong, fast, everything. Even though I was like mid to small in that weight class, I loved it. And look right here. They're picking him up. He still can't stand. They're holding him. He's like lifeless. It's absolutely insane to me. This is too far. I don't care what you say in the comments, whatever, hate on it. It's too far. It's just, what is the point? And they're not even supporting this man's head, and his mouth is wide open. I'm gonna rewind it so you can see that. It looks like he got knocked out. I mean, look at his face right here. Just dazed. It is good to see that he did post a video saying that he's okay. And if you watch the video, check out MMA Junkie, because I think they have the full video. You can hear someone in the background talking about how they're going to the hospital. Take them straight to the hospital, which is great. Here we have another fighter, just to prove it's not a one-off spin-off. She's doing everything she can to stand on the scale right now. Look. Oh, can't even stand. Boom. Loses her balance. Very similar. Luckily, again, she hits the thing. And there is one more point I want to go back and make before we keep moving on to these. When he falls, look at this. The staircase is right here. He started going over here. It's crazy. He's actually lucky he didn't make it to the staircase. Because could you imagine him falling face forward down here? Or at the end of the stage. Look how close he is to the end of the stage. I mean, this dude almost walked completely off the stage. Very close. Very fortunate that he kind of had best case scenario, you know? And again, just wobble leg, chicken leg. I mean, this is the same strut people do when they get jarred in fights, you know? You're kind of like self-harming. Now we got another guy being escorted up. He's got people holding his arms. And this one's kind of funny to me because of the predicament. He gets on the scale, and you'll notice his trainers are afraid to touch him because they don't want to add weight to the scale or take weight off of the scale. They have to give him a legit weigh in, but they will not give him an inch because they're afraid he's going to fall over. Look at this. Hovering their hands, he's shaking. He looks like he's on like a surfboard or a skateboard for his first time. Do we really think that this helps our performance? Let me know. Are there any monsters out there that are subscribed or watching right now that say they feel better going this far, or they feel stronger, or it gives them that much of an edge? I know a lot of you wrestlers are crazy. I watched all y'all throughout high school. Did you ever feel like it was beneficial? Let me know down below. Right here, we got another one. Lifeless, just dazed. Every part of him, and he's got the shakes. That's another thing. Your nervous system can get shot. You're shaking. You can't even stand up. Everything in his body right now is concentrating on just standing up, and he looks lost. And these are just what I found. These videos are what I found in like 5 minutes of looking. This guy right here, I think it's cut off because zoomed in too much. Sorry about that. But he starts holding on to the scale. And then the lady tells him, "Can you get back on the scale?" And he shakes his head. She's asking him right now, "Can you get back on the scale?" Because he touched it to get off the scale. And he's like shaking his head. Nope, can't do it. So, all this being said, what am I missing here? Do you think this really helps with performance? Is it worth harming your body this much to hopefully get an edge on the next person? Also, is this UFC's fault or is this the training camp's fault? The fighter's fault? I mean, who's to blame for this? That either way, I think it's too far. You can't correct all issues, but I do think there are ways to address this. I don't know. I would love to look into the IVs and why you're not allowed to IV afterwards. I don't know if that just is going to encourage more weight cutting and that's why they don't do it. Or you just push out a hydration test to make sure, everyone's okay. Maybe check-ins. I don't know. You guys let me know down below what you think would help and how you think this should be handled from now on, because it seems like it could be getting closer and closer to seeing how that last one was to something bad happening, and I would hate to see that. If you enjoyed the content, like, subscribe, comment. I'm sick of ramen noodles, and I will see you on the next one.
They try to drown me, I can swim upstream so profoundly. I can stay calm in a dire situation. I'm at it every day, no time for a vacation. And I smell blood in the water. Everything I do, yeah, I do it for my daughters. Now I'm gonna shut your lips. It's time for a brand new episode of What? We talking jit, say what? We talking jit, say what? We talking jit, say what? We talking jit, said it's time for a brand new episode of Talking Jit.